Hello everybody, welcome back to the Cybercade Devlog. I've made a whole bunch of really cool changes this week. I basically spent the entire week playing the game and then trying to think of what I could do most easy to make the game most good. So, the first thing I changed was this room. I wanted to make sure the player has a chance to get their bearings and shoot at something that doesn't shoot back at them before the level begins. I also added health pickups, like sprinkled throughout the entire level, a bunch more of them. I felt like the game was kind of just too hard. I was even having trouble recording demo footage because I kept dying in the middle of it. You can see here, when I run out of ammo, I added a reload prompt. A lot of people, when they were playing the first time, they didn't even realize that reloading was a thing, and they'd run out of ammo and think the game was broken or something. You can also see that between every stage there's an animation that plays showing where the player is going to advance to, and also a prompt that shows up as part of the UI. I wanted to make it a lot more clear where people were going and why they had moved. I'm a little on the fence about this section where the explosive crate is introduced. I've been surprised at the amount of players who don't know to shoot the crate, so I've been thinking that maybe making the security cameras and the door panels a similar color to the crate would help sort of illustrate this point. But I also want only explosive things to be that color. I made changes to the shotgun power up here as well. People didn't like how the spread effect filled the entire screen and distorted your vision. It actually made it a lot more likely that you were going to get shot. I also made it shoot farther. It's super important in segments like this because there were times where you'd get the shotgun and then immediately face an enemy where it couldn't reach them. In this upcoming segment here where you first see a rocket launcher, you used to see two at a time and now you only see one. I also fixed a bug where the rocket launcher guys weren't phasing in correctly when they spawned in or phasing out when they died. I changed this part of the level as well. I wanted to get rid of some extremely difficult to see enemies when there's the part that shows them far away here. Now there's not so many of them. I felt the difficulty was pretty unbalanced. People would get stuck on this part for a long time. You can see I'm barely breaking even on health here. One thing I've been thinking about is taking the default guns that I have here, these pistols, and making them the only default gun, and then taking the other weapon options and making them power-ups that you can sprinkle throughout the level. I don't really see any reason to have the complexity of having a choice there in the main menu. And I really want people to have opportunities to try all the guns, even over the course of a single level. I think it would make the game more fun. The final section of the level, as you approach the boss fight, you'd previously fight from this position, and the boss would be sort of off up and to your right. Really didn't like that. It put you in a really awkward spot, so I got rid of the central pillar here so that you could see the enemies in this courtyard a little better. But once you actually get up to the spot you fight the boss, you're squared up with the center of the street, so that when he comes out of the garage you have a perfectly squared up view with the front of the car. I also decided to make all the bosses red, and I added this extra effect where when a boss is down to their last weapon, so like in this case after I destroy the bottom two rocket launchers, the boss will start flying, animating faster, start blinking red. I also want to have an increase in the music intensity right here to make it extra intense and crazy right as you finish the boss fight. I really want every artistic and gameplay decision that I make in the game to just be something that drives hype further, increases the intensity of the experience, and makes it feel all more overwhelming and crazy, while also simple and understandable and approachable. Speaking of making the game more approachable and understandable, I found that a lot of times when players died, they had no idea what happened. It says game over on your guns, but a lot of times people don't look at their guns, so I added this game over screen for when you get killed. Thanks for watching the weekly update. I appreciate you checking it out. Don't give up on your own passion projects. If you have the time to work on them, go 100%. It's super worth it. See you next week.